10 toxic traits women secretly love. Use with caution. Female psychology. People are not drawn to what is easy. They are drawn to what challenges them. This quote speaks directly to human nature, especially when it comes to attraction. Today we're diving deep into the female psyche with a topic that might surprise you. 10 toxic traits women secretly love. These traits, when used with caution, can create that irresistible pull. But here's the key. It's not about manipulation, it's about understanding what works and why. What traits do you think women are truly drawn to? Drop a comment below, and let's spark a conversation. 1. Don't get attached to outcomes. Let go of control. One of the most powerful traits a high-value man can develop is the ability to let go of attachment to outcomes, especially when it comes to romantic relationships. Have you ever noticed that women are naturally drawn to men who seem like they don't care whether they win or lose? That cool, calm confidence isn't just an accident. It's what Stoics would call outcome independence. This concept, rooted in Stoic life lessons, is about understanding that you can only control your actions, not the results. When you're not overly attached to getting her attention, approval, or even a relationship, you exude a sense of freedom that's irresistibly attractive. The moment you let go of controlling the outcome and simply focus on being present and authentic, you unlock a new level of attraction. Why? Because human psychology works in paradoxes, people often desire what they can't fully have. Take a moment to reflect. Are you willing to walk away from a situation without looking back, even if you want it to work out? When you're comfortable with whatever happens, whether she reciprocates or not, it signals to her that you're emotionally resilient and secure in yourself. This kind of self-assurance is rare and deeply magnetic. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, said Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers. His words remind us that attachment to the outcome causes unnecessary suffering, while letting go brings peace, and, in this case, also attraction. Think about the times you've approached someone with the hope of a specific result, only to be disappointed when things didn't go your way. Now imagine if, instead of feeling crushed, you simply accepted it and moved on. The shift in your mindset would be undeniable. When you're not attached to the outcome, you're saying, "I'm okay either way. My value doesn't hinge on anyone else's validation." This is the essence of what it means to be a high-value man. A man who knows his worth isn't dictated by external circumstances, including a woman's response. So how do you practice outcome independence in your life? Start by focusing on your inner world and what you can control, not the external events you can't. If you ask her out and she declines, it's not a reflection of your worth. Instead of getting upset or overthinking, simply acknowledge the situation and move forward. This emotional independence is incredibly attractive to women because it demonstrates maturity, self-confidence, and, above all, emotional control, key traits of high-value men and central to Stoicism. Do you find yourself attaching too much importance to outcomes, or are you embracing this Stoic mindset in your relationships and beyond? 2. Be difficult. Make her work for it. Let's dive into a topic that often sparks curiosity, the idea that certain toxic traits can actually keep women more interested. One of these traits, which might surprise you, is being difficult. Now, when I say difficult, I'm not talking about being rude or unkind, but rather being someone who adds complexity and isn't always easy to win over. You've probably heard women say they don't like it when a guy plays hard to get. But here's the twist. If you're too easy, Too predictable or always agreeable, the excitement fades quickly. What happens when you're difficult? You create mystery. You stand out from the crowd of men who are bending over backward to please her, and that's where the magic happens. Women tend to be drawn to men who have a strong sense of self, who know what they want and don't compromise their values at every turn just to win someone over. This is where the lessons of Stoicism come in. One of the core principles of Stoic life lessons is to be grounded in your own values and not be swayed by external forces. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom applies here. Being difficult means you're not constantly reacting to her whims or requests, but staying true to yourself. Think about the last time you were around someone who always agreed with everything you said. Did it feel engaging? Probably not. Now compare that to someone who challenged you a bit, someone who made you work for their attention or approval. That's what makes things interesting and, dare I say, a little exciting. When you make her work for it, you're essentially inviting her to step up her game. By being difficult in a healthy way, you show her that you're not desperate, that you value your own time and passions. This creates a deeper sense of respect and attraction because she sees that you have a backbone, that you're not simply going to be at her beck and call every moment of the day. Imagine this. You've got a passion, something you care deeply about, whether it's your work, a hobby, or personal development through Stoic life lessons and understanding what is Stoicism. If you're always ready to drop everything the second she reaches out, what does that signal? It shows you're putting her on a pedestal. But if you maintain your boundaries and make time for what truly matters to you, she'll see that you have your own life, and it will make her want to be a part of it. This is the mark of high-value men, the ones who command respect and attraction without trying too hard. Ask yourself, have you ever noticed how the men who are a little harder to read tend to keep women more interested? What's really happening is that by being difficult, you're offering a dynamic interaction. You're creating a relationship where she feels like she has to earn your attention, and that makes the connection far more meaningful. So next time you're tempted to be the guy who's always saying yes or always available, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this making me more attractive, or am I simply becoming predictable? Drop a comment saying, "I value myself," to show you're committed to becoming the high-value person who knows their worth. Stick around, because the journey to mastering attraction and Stoic wisdom is just beginning. 3. Be unavailable. Scarcity breeds desire. They say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and in relationships, this couldn't be more true. In fact, one of the most potent yet often misunderstood traits that women secretly admire is unavailability. When you're always there, always reachable, it creates a sense of predictability that diminishes the excitement of the relationship. Think of it like the luxury item she covets. What makes it so desirable? It's not just the brand, it's the scarcity. Scarcity breeds desire, and in a similar way, when you aren't readily available, it stirs curiosity and attraction. As Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Stoic happiness, grounded in balance, teaches us that by guarding our time and energy, we increase our value to others without losing our sense of self. This principle applies not only to relationships, but to life as a whole. In today's world, where everyone is just a text away, being unreachable might seem counterintuitive, but this is where the art of balance comes in. You don't have to play hard to get, you just need to respect your own time. When you're constantly available, like that favorite dessert she once adored but now takes for granted, the thrill fades. But when you make yourself less accessible, the moments you do share together will feel more meaningful and precious. It's about mastering the delicate balance between being present and maintaining your individuality. The key here is not manipulation, but understanding the psychology of human behavior, particularly female psychology. Women, like all humans, enjoy the chase. It's part of our nature. But when there's no chase, no mystery, the allure fades. Relating this to modern life, especially for high-value men aiming for stoic happiness, the message is clear. Avoid over-availability in both personal and professional relationships. Too much accessibility often leads to burnout and being taken for granted. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Stoicism today encourages us to find balance in every aspect of life, including our relationships. So, whether you're building a career, managing friendships, or dating, know the power of your absence and use it wisely. You'll not only preserve your mental energy, but also create healthier, more fulfilling connections. By practicing this form of selective unavailability, you're not just elevating your status in her eyes. You're also staying true to yourself, which is the ultimate goal of a Stoic. 4. Don't submit to her lead. Be the leader. Women are naturally drawn to strength and leadership. It's a fundamental aspect of attraction, no matter how much modern society tries to blur these lines. When a man submits and lets a woman take the lead, it may seem like he's being considerate and accommodating, but in reality it erodes her respect for him over time. Why? Because it disrupts the natural order of attraction. A man who constantly seeks approval and follows her lead signals weakness, and that is the quickest way to lose her interest. True leadership, however, is not about domination or control, but about confidence and decisiveness. Taking charge shows that you are grounded, self-assured, and capable of guiding the direction of your life and the relationship. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This quote embodies Stoic happiness, leading your life from a place of inner strength rather than external validation, a principle of Stoicism today that holds timeless relevance. In practical terms, this means not always asking her what she wants to do or where she wants to go. Instead, make a plan, decide on a fun activity, and surprise her with an experience that you've curated. When you lead in this way, you are showing initiative, which communicates that you can handle responsibility and make decisions that create value for both of you. This is not about imposing your will, but rather stepping into your role with confidence. Women want a man who can take care of things, someone who can relieve the burden of always being in control or making the plans. That sense of reliability, of being someone she can count on, is incredibly attractive and taps into the biological instincts women have been wired with for centuries. Stoicism today teaches us to act with clarity and purpose, to move through life with a calm strength. If you find yourself constantly bending to someone else's will, you lose not only her respect, but also your own sense of purpose. It's about balance, being a considerate partner without losing the essence of who you are. Make decisions not to dominate, but to guide, to ensure both of you thrive. When you lead with conviction, you're cultivating an atmosphere where both you and she can flourish, rooted in mutual respect and trust. In this way, you are not just practicing Stoic happiness, but creating a life where your values guide your actions, solidifying your place as a high-value man. If you've made it this far, you're already embracing the mindset of a true leader. Drop a comment saying, "I lead with confidence," to show you're committed to mastering your own path and stepping into your strength. Stick around, there's more to come on your journey to becoming a high-value man. 5. Don't fear losing her. Confidence is irresistible. When it comes to relationships, one of the most important Stoic life lessons is understanding that confidence is irresistible. As high-value men, it's essential not to fear losing her, because nothing kills attraction faster than showing that you're terrified of her walking away. Women are incredibly perceptive, and they can sense when you're acting from a place of fear. When you let fear dictate your actions, you're essentially telling her that she's above you, that you need her more than she needs you, and that creates an imbalance in the relationship, which can be the death of attraction. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This wisdom perfectly aligns with the idea that we should never seek validation from others, especially in relationships. Ask yourself, why would a woman want to be with someone who constantly doubts their worth? On the other hand, when you're comfortable with the idea of losing her, you send a powerful message of strength and independence. You're not desperate for her validation, nor are you afraid of standing alone. This independence is intoxicating because it signals that you're complete with or without her. Remember, a true Stoic knows that they can find peace and happiness within themselves without relying on external factors like relationships. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." The moment you realize that you cannot control whether someone stays or leaves, you free yourself from the burden of fear, and this freedom is what makes you truly attractive. Now think about the difference between a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset. When you're scared of losing her, you're operating from scarcity. It's as if you believe she's the only woman who could ever make you happy, and that desperation is unattractive. But if you embody the mindset of abundance, you realize that there are plenty of amazing women out there, and your happiness isn't tied to any one person. This abundance mindset radiates confidence, which draws women to you. High-value men know their worth and trust that the right person will appreciate their confidence and independence. So, ask yourself, do you act out of fear or confidence in your relationships? What is Stoicism if not a constant reminder to focus on what you can control and let go of the rest? Confidence comes from knowing your value, embracing the idea of abundance, and refusing to rely on someone else for your happiness. This is not just about relationships. It's a way of life. High-value men understand that their worth isn't dependent on external validation, and by embracing Stoic life lessons, they cultivate an unshakable inner peace that makes them irresistible to others. 6. Be unapologetically authentic. No masks, just you. Being unapologetically authentic is more than just motivational fluff. It's about being real, owning who you are without pretending to be someone you're not. Most guys put on a facade to impress women, trying to appear perfect or to be exactly what they think she wants. But here's the reality. Women can sense fake behavior from a mile away. When you try to mask your flaws or interests, you're not only being dishonest with her, but also with yourself. Authenticity is magnetic because it's rare. In today's world, most people are too afraid to show their imperfections, too scared of judgment. But when you embrace your quirks and flaws, it's a game changer. Confidence in its rawest form isn't about being flawless. It's about being comfortable with who you are, flaws and all, and that is something women find irresistibly attractive. Think of it this way. Everyone has imperfections. Whether it's being a little socially awkward, having a strange hobby, or being obsessed with something that others might find odd, these are parts of who you are. Hiding these parts of yourself only builds a wall between you and true connection. The real win comes from embracing them. For example, if you're a huge sci-fi nerd, don't shy away from it. Talk about it with enthusiasm. Your passion will show that you're secure in yourself, and that comfort is contagious. The right woman will not only appreciate your interests, but she'll also feel safe to be herself around you. And here's the beauty of being unapologetically authentic. You naturally filter out the people who aren't a good match for you, which saves both of you time and emotional energy. Think back to moments in your life where you felt like you had to put on a front, where you were worried about how someone might perceive you if they saw the real you. Did that ever lead to a deep, fulfilling connection? Probably not. It's exhausting and unsustainable. When you operate from a stoic mindset, you understand that true confidence doesn't come from the approval of others, but from an inner peace with who you are. If you embrace that mindset, you'll not only feel more self-assured, but you'll also attract people who are drawn to your authenticity, including women who appreciate the real you. So ask yourself, what parts of yourself have you been hiding? And why? It's time to stop seeking validation and start winning by being unapologetically you. The lesson here is simple. The key to genuine connection is authenticity, and by embracing who you truly are, you build stronger relationships and live a more fulfilling life. In the end, those who value the real you will stick around, and that's the true win in life and love. 7. Be challenging. Don't be too agreeable. To truly captivate a woman's interest, you must embody a balance between being kind and being a challenge. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that by always agreeing and accommodating, you'll win her over. But that's not the case. Stoic happiness isn't about conforming to please others. It's about standing firm in your principles. Women might say they want a man who's agreeable, but in reality, someone who's too compliant often ends up in the friend zone. Instead, be challenging. Push back when necessary, and don't be afraid to voice your own opinions. If she expects you to drop everything to cater to her needs, set boundaries. Stoicism today teaches us the value of balance, being kind without becoming a pushover, and maintaining self-respect while respecting others. As Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Don't be so agreeable that you lose your sense of self in a relationship. Women appreciate a challenge because it taps into their desire for something valuable, attention that feels earned. When a woman feels like she has to work for your affection, it becomes more meaningful to her. The classic bad boy archetype illustrates this well. It's not the negative qualities that draw women in, but the fact that he stands his ground, is not easily swayed, and makes her feel that his attention is something she has to earn. This dynamic is incredibly alluring because it sparks effort and engagement, which are key ingredients to deep attraction. For example, if she suggests doing something you're not interested in, instead of automatically agreeing to it to make her happy, express your own desires. This not only showcases your confidence, but also creates a more stimulating and balanced interaction. In modern relationships, being too agreeable can often lead to feelings of imbalance and resentment. Relationships are built on mutual respect and respect is earned through showing that you have your own values, preferences, and boundaries. When you are too agreeable, you risk diminishing your own voice, which can lead to dissatisfaction and loss of attraction on both sides. In the philosophy of Stoicism, happiness comes from living in accordance with your true nature, and part of that is having the courage to stand your ground. High-value men understand that their time and energy are precious, and they don't give it away freely or thoughtlessly. So remember, being a challenge doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means valuing yourself enough to express your truth, even when it's not what the other person wants to hear. Are you willing to do so? If so, you're stepping into the strength of being a high-value man. Drop a comment saying, "I embrace the challenge," to show you're committed to holding your ground and owning your worth. Stay tuned. The journey to becoming your best self is just beginning. 8. Prioritize your purpose. The power of ambition. Having a purpose isn't just about setting goals. It's about defining who you are and what you stand for. Women are drawn to men who are driven, passionate, and focused on a larger mission in life. If you're just coasting through without a clear purpose, no matter how charming you may be, you'll fade into the background. But when you prioritize your dreams and ambitions, you instantly stand out as a man who's going somewhere. A Stoic mindset reminds us to stay grounded in our goals, to focus on what we can control, and to remain unwavering even when faced with obstacles. This determination is what sets high-value men apart, and women are instinctively attracted to that kind of stability. Consider this. We live in a world where everything is uncertain. Jobs change, people come and go, the future can feel unstable. But a man with purpose creates a sense of certainty, not just for himself, but for the people around him. It's not only about financial security, it's about emotional and intellectual security too. Women admire men who can lead, who are confident in their direction, and who can provide that sense of stability amidst chaos. Think of someone in your life who you deeply respect. Chances are it's someone with a clear vision, someone who knows what they want out of life and is actively pursuing it. That kind of commitment is magnetic. It shows you're reliable, focused, and able to weather life's storms, qualities that women find incredibly appealing. Now let's dive into a real-life scenario. Picture a man who's passionate about building his own business. Despite the challenges, he spends long hours perfecting his craft, refining his vision, and pushing through setbacks. He's not just working for money. He's working for something bigger, a dream that gives his life meaning. His partner sees this ambition, his drive, and his ability to stay focused, and she admires him for it. She's not just attracted to him physically, but to the energy he radiates, the confidence that comes with knowing where you're headed. That's the kind of energy that pulls people in, especially women who crave that emotional and intellectual depth. So, ask yourself, are you living with a purpose that drives you? Are you clear about your direction, or are you simply drifting from day to day? A man with a strong sense of purpose shows that he's committed not just to his own growth, but to creating something meaningful. This is the essence of a Stoic mentality, remaining steadfast in the pursuit of your goals, no matter the obstacles. The lesson here is simple. Be the kind of man who leads with ambition, and you'll naturally inspire those around you. Women are drawn to that sense of direction, and by focusing on your purpose, you're becoming the best version of yourself, someone who others will respect and admire. Keep pushing forward, stay grounded in your Stoic mindset, and let your purpose guide you toward success. 9. Have female friends. Strategic social proof. Having female friends can be one of the most powerful yet underestimated moves in the game of attraction. It's not just about having women around for show. There's a deeper psychology at play here, rooted in something called social proof. When a woman sees you surrounded by other women who genuinely enjoy your company, she unconsciously takes note of your value. Why? Because we naturally gravitate towards what others find valuable. It's the same reason why a crowded restaurant seems more appealing than an empty one. If other women are spending time with you, it signals to her that you possess qualities worth being around, and that piques her interest. You're no longer just another guy. You're the guy who's proven himself without even trying. But there's more to it. When you have female friends, you're not leaning on her for all your female attention, and that shifts the power dynamics. You don't need her validation because you already have women in your life. This subtle shift in energy makes you more confident and, in turn, more attractive. Women are competitive by nature, especially when it comes to romantic interests. Seeing you with other women can trigger her competitive side. She'll want to show that she's the one you should really be focusing on. It's like lighting a spark that turns her attention towards you in a way that feels natural, not forced. Imagine this. You're out at a casual gathering and you walk in with a female friend. The woman you're interested in is there too. She notices how comfortable your friend is around you, how you're relaxed, and how your interactions are effortless. Now she's curious. Why are these other women so at ease with you? She might start thinking about what makes you special, what they see in you that she hasn't discovered yet. And that's where the real magic happens. The Stoic mindset teaches us to be secure in ourselves, not overly dependent on anyone for validation. By having female friends, you're embodying that very principle, which is something women find undeniably attractive. But here's the catch. It has to be genuine. Women are incredibly perceptive, and if you're just using other women as props to make yourself look good, she'll see right through it. Authenticity is key. Are you capable of forming real, meaningful connections with people, or are you playing a game? The win Stoic mentality isn't about manipulation. It's about cultivating honest relationships that add value to your life. So, ask yourself, are you surrounding yourself with people who bring out the best in you, or are you trying to build a false image to impress others? When you genuinely connect with others, including women, it reflects positively on you, and that's when you truly stand out. In the end, the lesson here is simple. Social proof works because it taps into natural human psychology, but only when it's done with integrity. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you are, not just to boost your image. A high-value man knows that his worth doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from within. 10. Be playfully dominant. Assert control with charm. Let's start with a strong hook. Strength without tenderness is brittle, but tenderness without strength is fragile. Women are drawn to men who exude confidence and control, but this attraction has nuance. It's not about being aggressive or domineering, but about being playfully dominant. This means asserting yourself with charm and humor, creating a dynamic where you're not just taking charge, but doing so in a way that keeps the atmosphere light and enjoyable. In today's fast-paced world, where balance in relationships is more vital than ever, mastering this art of playful dominance can keep a relationship both stimulating and fulfilling. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This concept fits well here because the way a high-value man leads interactions is not about forcing outcomes, but about guiding them with confidence and grace, embodying stoic happiness. Playful dominance isn't about manipulation. It's about leading with intention while making her feel both secure and excited. Imagine planning a date where you pick the place, decide the activities, but keep the mood playful and engaging. It shows leadership and control without overstepping, making her feel special, cared for, and curious about what comes next. This is the essence of Stoicism today, understanding that strength, paired with charm, leads to fulfilling interactions. By gently teasing her or playfully challenging her ideas, you create moments of connection that go beyond the superficial, adding layers to your dynamic. In modern life, where communication often lacks depth, a high-value man can stand out by creating these engaging, meaningful exchanges. Remember, it's not about overpowering someone, it's about bringing a sense of adventure, fun, and leadership to the table. Just as the Stoics taught us that balance is key in all areas of life, finding the right blend of dominance and playfulness ensures that you're not coming across as too controlling or too passive. This balance captivates her attention, making her feel both thrilled and appreciated. So, if you want to maintain a vibrant relationship, understand that being playfully dominant can bring out the best in both of you, crafting an interaction that's dynamic, enjoyable, and, most importantly, sustainable in the long run. Incorporating these qualities can lead to deeper connections as you guide the relationship with both strength and charm. For high-value men seeking a fulfilling relationship, this approach mirrors the principles of Stoicism today. By maintaining your composure, setting clear boundaries, and knowing when to inject humor and lightheartedness, you not only elevate yourself, but also the relationship, fostering a space where both you and she can thrive. So, when navigating relationships, remember, assert your control, but with a smile. This balance of power and lightness is what keeps a woman intrigued, ensuring that both of you find happiness rooted in respect and mutual growth. When we talk about these so-called toxic traits, it's important to clarify that we're not advocating manipulation or mind games. Instead, what we're really addressing is how high-value men can reclaim their power and set themselves apart in the dating world. Women, by their very nature, are often drawn to traits that signal strength, confidence, and independence. These traits may sometimes be labeled as toxic, but when used with caution and intention, they can actually reflect the qualities of a stoic man who understands his own value. As the great philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This speaks to the core of Stoicism, embracing your inner strength and letting it guide you through life without being swayed by external validation. Think about it. What is Stoicism? It's not about suppressing emotions or acting indifferent. It's about controlling what you can and accepting what you cannot. When you apply these Stoic life lessons to your interactions with women, you begin to see a shift in how they perceive you. Women naturally admire men who remain grounded and purposeful, who are unfazed by rejection or setbacks. Why? Because that level of emotional control and self-assurance is rare. But here's the key: balance. Just as Marcus Aurelius taught us the importance of moderation, so too must we apply that lesson here. A man who goes too far with these traits may come off as arrogant or unapproachable, while a man who doesn't assert himself enough risks being overlooked. So, how do you find that sweet spot? Ask yourself, are you being true to your own values while embodying these traits? A high-value man doesn't just adopt these characteristics for the sake of attracting women. He lives by them because they align with his personal code. Women can sense authenticity, and they gravitate toward men who aren't swayed by the need for approval. As Seneca once said, "The greatest wealth is a poverty of desires." In other words, true confidence comes from wanting less, from being content with who you are and what you bring to the table. So, how do you balance confidence with humility? How do you stay strong without crossing into arrogance? These are questions every high-value man must ask himself. At the end of the day, Stoic life lessons teach us that power comes from within. When you embody these traits, strength, independence, confidence, you're not just more attractive to women, you're also more fulfilled in your own life. But remember, everything in moderation. Use these traits strategically and watch how the dynamics with women shift in your favor. Just don't overdo it, because as with anything in life, too much can be as dangerous as too little. So, what do you think? Are you ready to embrace these lessons and elevate yourself as a high-value man? Let us know your thoughts. And for more insights on what it means to live a purpose-driven life, be sure to check out the next video. Thanks for tuning in.